do you put your life in order? Well, first you have to find out what your core purpose is, what your core passion is, what you feel the most fulfilling thing to do is. Once you figure that out, you revolve the rest of your day, everything else, around that core purpose. Okay, so of course you have your job, you have your 9 to 5 or whatever, you have your studies, maybe you have university or whatever you're in, you have college. You have the things that you necessarily have to do. You've got family, you've got kids, maybe you've got this, that, the other. You've got eating food, you've got driving your car to places to travel, you've got all these things. So everybody in this world has 24 hours in a day. Everybody has 24 hours. You figure out what your core purpose is, you figure out what you want to do, what your side hustle, what your dream business is, you figure that out, alright? You realize the fact that you only have 24 hours in a day, same as everybody else. 24 hours in a day, you break it down. Alright, so you got 8 hours for work. You got 8 hours for work, that's just the general rule. Maybe you work 9 hours, 10 hours, maybe you work 6 hours, maybe you work 5 hours, depending on your own personal schedule. Let's say, so you work for 8 hours, alright? That's the general rule. I don't know how long you work for, but let's just say it's that. And the next general rule, you sleep for 8 hours. Let's just say you leave 8 hours for sleep. Maybe some people want to leave 8.5, 9 hours for sleep, just so when they wind down, they get to bed, then they actually get 8 hours of sleep. But let's just say 8 hours. That leaves 8 hours left. 8 hours left when you're eating, you're traveling in your car, whatever, going from point A to point B. For some people it's an hour, for some people it's 2 hours, for some people it's 3 hours, whatever the case may be. Break down that number until you're left with a certain amount of hours, right? Alright, so whatever that is for you. I feel like at least people should have, you break down everything that you necessarily have to do. Job, sleep, gym. Some people work out for 45 minutes, some people work out for an hour, some people work out for 2 hours, some people work out for 3 hours. Depending on how important gym is to you and how important your physical health is to you, that will determine how often or how much you're there. So if it's not as important as everything else, 45 minutes should be plenty. You're there for 45 minutes, you lift some weights, or you're there for 45 minutes, you do some cardio, you do some core exercises, whatever you want to do, whatever your goals are, then you go do that, then you leave. So depending on what your priorities are and what your goals are for yourself in the time being, you have to allocate obviously time to everything that's necessary to you. So majority of the time with your passion, with that core passion, that 3 to 4 hours that's left over, majority of people have 3 to 4 hours left over after their day. And whether you want to spend that 3 or 4 hours scrolling on your phone when you could have been doing something to do with your passion or bettering yourself in that area that you want to be better at, whatever's your priority. If your physical health is your priority, the gym should be definitely put in majority of that 3 to 4 hours. Or if your priority is your family, that 3 to 4 hours should be put towards your family. But obviously, if you want to keep it balanced, if you want to hear how I go about things, if I have about 4 hours left to put towards my passions and whatever is important to me, because you have to allocate time to work because you have to live, you have to allocate time to sleep because you need to rest, you have to allocate some time to eat, to drink water, to take a shit, to do all these things. So these things are necessary. And then after that comes your purpose, your passion, the things you actually genuinely want to do. So you're not a slave to the day-to-day boring. And then when you allocate your time, so you've got 3 or 4 hours left. For me personally, I will allocate about 45 minutes to weight training, 45 minutes to cardio, and I will do about 45 minutes to reading because that's important to me. And then I do about an hour to my content, and that ticks off more than one box for me. So that's about 4 hours allocating to the important things for me: my cardio, my physical health, my reading and knowledge, and then my passion and purpose, which is the content and creating videos. So me constantly learning and everything is important to me, and so that's where I prioritize everything. So depending on what you prioritize, depending on what you want to improve yourself in, allocate that 3 to 4 hours to whatever you need to do. Everyone gets 24 hours in a day. Break down what is important to you. Is sleep important? Put more time to sleep. If your job is important, if your business is important, put more time to that. But at the end of the day, you always have time. The whole point of me talking about the 24 hours in a day is the fact that you will actually understand and realize that you have plenty of time. You will understand that you have 3 hours at least. I don't know your life. I don't know what you have going on, all right? I don't know if you have a family. I don't know how much time you work. I don't know how much time you actually sleep, how much time you allocate to everything, okay? I don't know, but you break it down, actually realize the time you spend scrolling on your phone, the time you spend wasting time, that's why you don't have time. But if you take that away, you do have time. You do have time to allocate to the passions and purposes that you have. You've always had time. Everyone has the same amount of time during the day. It's up to you to prioritize and allocate time to whatever you want to better. All right, so find out what your passion is. Find out what you really want to do. All right, once you answer that question, then you revolve every other layer around how important you think everything else is to you. If your cardio is important, allocate time to that. Stop thinking that you have to be at the gym for fucking 3 hours a day, all right, doing weights. You don't have to be at the gym for 3 hours unless that is actually what you want want to do. If you want to do bodybuilding, fucking yeah, go ahead, bro. If you don't, there's no point in spending that time there. Go there, do what's necessary, do what's fucking good to like feel good in your body, get a good pump in, feel confident, whatever you need to do. And then if you need to do your cardio too to make sure that you're fucking healthy and operating at a healthy, functional way, then do your cardio as well. Allocate 20 minutes, allocate 15 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, whatever you want to do, allocate that depending on how important it is to you. So I don't know what your priorities are. I don't know how your life looks, but everybody has 24 hours in a day. Break down the 24 hours for you. You got 8 left, all right? Then you break that 8 hours down to your eating, your travel, everything like that, and then that's when you're left with your actual time that you have each day. And you put that time towards your important things, the things that you care about, the things that you want to do in the future. And eventually that time will accumulate over months and months and months, and you would have done way more progress than if you didn't. If you say, I don't have any time, you fucking do. You have time. You're being lazy, you're procrastinating, you're making up excuses to do it for yourself, do it for your younger self, all right? So I hope you gained anything from this video. I hope you found out how to prioritize your life, how to put your life in order. I appreciate you, I believe in you, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.